Hi there and welcome to my channel. Today's project is for the Vicki Boutin design team, and this week we have been creating projects inspired by the March mood board, which is available in the Vicki Boutin community page. It's right now on the screen. Love it. I love everything about it, but what caught my eye the most was those glittery stars. So I'm going to work my project around it. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of kind of a little bit of science experiment with the markers and the glitter glaze. So I had a few ideas in my brain, so I'm going to swatch some of the ideas just so that I have a better idea for future reference, and also for you it's going to help you, I think. So to create the glitter stars that you see in the mood board, my idea was I'm going to mix some of the iridescent glitter glaze that Vicki just released with some of the fine glitter glaze for her mixology collection. So you see that I mix it together and add it to a piece of foundation paper. Super glittery, love it. So then I thought, what if I add a little bit of the watercolor marker underneath and then add the glitter glaze on top of it that I just created. Now what happened was, wherever I added the glitter mixture, it kind of bleached that area. So you can see the difference between where the watercolor was and where I added the glitter glaze. It kind of bleached and it gave it like a neon tone to the watercolor. So then I went and whatever leftover watercolor I had in my mat, I mixed it with the glitter glaze and added to a piece, to the same piece of paper. And you're gonna see that it went all very neon, and I think it has to do with the glitter and how it's picking up the light. But everything is one single color, so you don't see a difference between the watercolor or the glitter glaze. Now, for the purpose of this layout, I'm gonna just use the glitter glaze with some glitter mixed together. But if you want to see like an up close or what the result of the little experiment looks like, go to the blog, Vicki's blog, and you're gonna see a close up because I actually took pictures of what it looks like at the end. Now, going back to the layer, I'm gonna go ahead and this video is gonna be about focus on building the stars and the layer. And for this, I am gonna use, like I said, the glitter with the glitter glaze mixed together, and I'm gonna spread it onto a piece of foundation paper that is just plain. There's no gesso on it. And I'm going to use Vicki's wedge. This is the silicone wedge that she just released. Now, beautiful tool, and it helps you spread everything evenly. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but the chunks of the glitter that on the glitter glaze are so big that I couldn't achieve like a uniform kind of a thin layer. So I had to use my palette knife just to kind of spread the areas where the glitter glaze was really thick. And then I'm going to set it aside to dry. Now, this took a really long time to dry, and I think it has to do with the fact that the foundation paper is so thick. The glitter glaze was added quite heavy in some areas, even like I said before, even though you try to make it even, is the chunks of the glitter. So it took, I'm gonna say, at least 3 hours to dry completely. And then to die cut is not impossible, but it is a little bit harder than your usual die cutting paper. I think again, it has to do with the glitter. It has to do with the way the glaze dries. It dries like think of it as dry glue. So it took a while. It's not impossible. It took like around 4 to 5 cranks of the machine back and forth for me to get a clean cut. It does cut clean, but it takes a while to cut it completely. So just keep that in mind. Now, if you see the stars in the mood board, they have a black edge to them. So, which you can ink, you can use a marker. In my choice, or in my case, I am going to use the stencil brush and some black art crayon just to add the edging. And all I did is scribble the crayon, pick up the pigment with my brush, and then just go around the edges of the stars. One of the reasons why I'm using the brush is because there's a lot of pieces of glitter sticking out, and that's just going to help me color the glitter. And that's about it. I'm not going to color every single one of the stars, just a few, just to create a little bit of difference, because I'm have an idea that I might group them together. So once I have that done, I am actually going to start building the layout. And this week in Toronto, it's March break. My daughter's still in high school, so she was home, and we had my niece and nephew come visit too. So I didn't have that much time to work on this layout, and I wasn't counting on the glitter glaze taking that long to dry. So I love the fact that now I have pre-made backgrounds that I can add on to them, or I can work with them as is. And this is the case of this background. This comes from the pre-made mixed media backgrounds, and I love the fact that it had that arch of rainbow that looks a lot like the arch that is behind that rainy window on the mood board. So I'm going to take advantage of it to build this layout. First thing I'm going to do to bring more of that yellow that's in the mood board, I'm going to use one of the frames from the Color Kaleidoscope collection and just kind of cut it just to frame my picture. I added a piece of the black and white paper from the 6x8. You can also find it in the 12x12 paper pad or in the 12x12 pad, and it's the one that has all the little cut apart pieces. But I would love the distress of it. I love the fact that it's black and white. It's going to make everything pop. And then I went outside of the camera, also cut, using the same die, a few papers from the 6x8 and also from the 12x12 that had navies in it, that had teal, that had those colors that are in the mood board, especially the blues. Because this layout that I'm creating is about my nephew and I always take a selfie with him whenever I can get a hold of him. He's tiny still, so it's hard for, they're still running around. But whenever we take a photo, it's always something funny or something crazy. And this time it was his birthday. I just happened to lean down to kiss him, and then I took the picture. So it works, and I love this picture, so I'm gonna document it. And this picture is most likely gonna go in on his album. So I'm just gonna stay with the blues just for that. Now you saw that I also use a little punch that I have to create some little stars, and this was really hard to do with the glitter paper. Again, I had to use my table just to give me the extra strength to create the little stars. Now, you're gonna see the way I'm building this layout is I'm adding some foam adhesive behind the stars, and I'm gonna create kind of a half moon on the right hand side of the layout where I'm gonna nestle my picture. So I'm gonna add some foam adhesive behind some of the stars. I'm gonna play with a combination of the paper, the big stars, some of the stars that I added that black edge to it, some of the stars that I didn't, just to create some kind of movement and also to create dimension. And I want to have a combination of all the colors. One of the reasons why I chose this side of the layout is because there was a lot of gold in it and also a lot of pink and a kind of a reddish tone. So I want to hide that area. But there's still that pink on this side, and I don't mind it because it actually matches a lot of the color that's on the mood board, and I don't mind a rainbow, even though it's from my nephew. So just for that, you're gonna see me that one of the reasons why I cut it or I punched the little stars, it's just to stretch and kind of cover a little bit of the pink area. But it doesn't bug me. I don't think it's gonna bug my nephew, but just in case, you never know in the future. Yeah. So all I'm gonna do right now is, like I said, I punched some of the paper, some of the stars. I'm just gonna glue them onto the mat just to stretch my the movement of the layer. And now to build the title, I'm going to use the same stars. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set the glitter stars in place. And I'm adding some foam adhesive. And once I have them set, I'm going to bring some of the paper stars that I have, that I also created for the pattern papers, and some of the little stars that I also have punched, especially in this area, because I want it to be very shiny. I wanted to cover some of the pink, and this is where my title is going to go. So I want a lot of shine around it. And before I get to the title, I gotta say that Vicky's new set of Puffy stickers, the ones with the words, if you can get a hold of like 2 or 3 packs, go ahead and get them. The words that she has added to this pack are amazing. Like the word that says "this photo." There's no way to. I always have a hard time with titles, and they're very repetitive. But this is just perfect because the layout is about this picture in particular. I love this picture. He's smiling, he's happy. He looks happy that I am actually kissing him, and that's a major thing. I'm talking about a 6-year-old boy who's like, ew, my aunt is yucky, in that stage. So love it. So this photo was perfect. So again, I've already purchased 2 of those packs, and they're like, I'm gonna love them forever. So I'm adding my title using the Puffy stickers. I'm gonna add some glue behind them just so they hold in place when I'm adding them to the glitter glaze. And then I'm going to play with some of the chipboard stickers. I'm adding some decorations, embellishments using the chipboard stickers, especially to the title. I want to balance my layout. It's already heavy on the right hand side. So by adding the black and adding the chipboard and adding the few of the stars, it kind of balances all together. And then I'm going to keep the embellishments on around the picture really light. So I'm going to add a lot of black and white, nothing heavy. I don't want to take away from the stars. I don't want to hide them. I don't want to add more to it because it's going to make it really heavy on this side. So you're going to see that I'm going to bring some of the layable stickers that Vicki from this release. I think it's the ones that you can build, you can layer. And I'm going to use the phrase words. And just, I'm going to add one to frame the picture at the bottom. I'm going to bring one of the chipboard stickers at the top of our 2 heads, and then I went into the layable stickers again and pulled out one of the stars that had this it kind of has a newsprint look to it, and I just added it to the center of the one just to bring the interest, so like it doesn't get confused and it just makes it more of a focal point. After that, I am bringing some of the watercolor stickers from the Field Notes collection just to add a few more sentiments to the layer without taking it away. So I went for the watercolor stickers, black and white. It never hurt. And after that, I'm going to bring quite a bit of splatters to the layer. And the best way for me to add it was those black splatters that you see in that heart. And I'm mixing a little bit of art crayons with water and then just using one of my water brushes to add splatters. I first added like a fine splatters, and I love the fact that it makes it grungy. It takes away some of the girliness, and that's okay. And after that, you're gonna see that I'm gonna add some of bigger splatters. And for that, all I'm doing is picking up the pigment and then kind of squishing the barrel of the water brush. That's just gonna create those bigger droplets, and I love how this turned out. The only thing you're not gonna see in the camera is that I added a few lines to journal. Let's just say, you know what, this is usually what we do, and it's on your birthday, because like I said, this layer will go to my nephew's album. And that's it. Super simple. It did take a while to have the stars ready. After that, having the pre-mixed media background made it so easy to put this together. And I hope you try it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Look how shiny those stars are amazing. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Make sure you check Vicki's collection. Get a hold of everything you can, because it's amazing. Thank you so much for joining me, guys, and I hope to see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.